Good morning, Southwest Florida, and welcome to Saving the Investor. I'm Alfie Townsend, and if you're one of the millions that are concerned about higher taxes, inflation, and the national debt, you're in the right place.
Coming up on today's show, long-term care insurance. Know your draft. The truth about gold, and much more.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie is a published author, radio show host, speaker, and industry leader.
Why do you use an annuity? A lot of people use it for the wrong thing.
He works with retirees and pre-retirees to build and protect their nest egg and offers his experience to help those concerned about financial independence in retirement. If you've got questions about retirement, Saving the Investor starts now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Craig Wolf, alongside a certified financial planner professional, Alfie Townsend. We're here at the Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's talk about briefly your career and your history. You've been doing it a long time. You actually started 1980s, I believe.
Yeah, 1983 to be exact.
83. I can't do the math right now because it's too early on
almost
a Sunday
40
morning.
years.
Almost 40
yeah,
years.
Right, 40 years.
But you started in the insurance business, and
Yeah.
you did long-term care insurance. You did Medicare. Let's start, because it's a topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and it's something people did not take advantage of in great numbers when maybe they should have. Long-term care insurance, what is it?
So long-term care back in the 80s, it was definitely, it was very popular, but it was very expensive. And then a lot of people got disappointed because it wasn't ever supposed to have rate increases. And then after like 10 years of keeping the policy, the insurance company started raising these rates for them because the cost of hospital was going up. So they started raising these rates. And, it really took people back and saying, why are you raising these rates? I thought they weren't supposed to be raised. Well, there's a little thing in there saying, yes, it could be raised if the state allows it to be raised. So with that being said, a lot of people just cancel their policy. So a lot of people don't have long-term care. Insurance companies know that there's a need for it, a big need for it. So they started something, I'd have to say 5 to 10 years ago, putting it into what we call like a hybrid long-term care. So, for example, what's nice about it, you have IRAs. Okay, so you have an IRA, you have to put your IRA somewhere. So, most of the time we're going to put it in the market, but some people need to have bonds, not 100% equity. And, so they're going to have bonds. So instead of a bond, what we'll do is we'll put it into bond alternative annuity that has the long-term care feature in there. Okay, so they're still going to have their equities, but instead of using bonds, we're going to use this hybrid type of long-term care policy that will cover not just you, it would cover you and your spouse. So that's number one. So even though it's your IRA, she's able to, and we don't have to just do IRAs with it, but a lot of times we're able to do the IRA, and that makes it a nice, because you would, it's just an added feature. You're not paying extra for it. It's just an added feature. So what it does, let's say you're getting this annuity down the road is going to give you $35,000 a year for life. If something happens to you, your spouse gets the same thing. But if something happened to one of you and you couldn't do 2 out of 6 activity daily living, can't feed yourself, bathe yourself, transfer, they're all pretty much the same ADLs, activity daily living. So what this will do is, instead of getting $35,000, it bumps it up to $70,000. So if you had $50,000 coming in from this, you would have $100,000, and that would pay up to 5 years, which is nice. Now, if you only used it for, let's say you had to have hip replacement, and it only, you only needed it for 6 months, fantastic. You could use it for 6 months, and then you still have 4.5 years left. And what's nice is not just, if your wife broke her hip, she could use it, and then there's still 4.5 years left on the policy. And this would meet your required minimum distribution. It helps meet your required minimum distribution. And like I said, instead of having bonds that's not making any money, this would be a great alternative as a bond investment. I should say.
Right, and it's sad and tragic. Last year and the year before, when COVID, reared its ugly head, life expectancies did take a little bit of a hiccup and go back a little bit. But generally speaking, people are living longer.
Yeah, and what they want, people. And I always said this: I want to, live in my house for the rest of my life. I want to die in my home. Okay, people don't want to die in a nursing home. They just don't. So a lot of these policies, you have to, go into a nursing home to get the benefits. What's nice about these hybrids here is that you could be at home. You don't need to go through an agency. That's important. The old policies, you had to use an agency to get the nurse or to get the, LPN, RN, and they're going to charge a whole lot more than if you could this one could pay one of your family members because it pays you the money directly. So you could, as long as your doctor is their doctor, the insurance company's doctor. So if they say you need it, you can't perform 2 out of 6 activity daily living, they send you a check. Okay, so they send you the check and you can give it to someone at church that is willing to take care of you. You could have a nurse. You can do whatever you want to with the money, but you do not have to go through an agency, which will save you about 40% right off the bat there.
All right, good way to start the show. Thank you for defining long-term health insurance and giving us some real-world examples. We are just getting started this morning on Saving the Investor, so stick around.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
Tax hikes could have a dramatic impact on you and your family. Certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend has a tool to help. It's called Tax Map. It's designed to ease the impact of what most likely would be the largest tax hike in nearly 30 years. Alfie's Tax Map can help you lower your tax bracket, protect your money when taxes rise, and create tax-free income. High net worth investors employ Alfie's Tax Map strategies to protect their savings and preserve their legacy. And if you're one of the first 9 callers right now, you can too. Call 239-747-1080. That's 239-747-1080. This complimentary tax map is only available to the first 9 callers right now. So don't wait. Again, that's 239-747-1080. The time to reduce future taxes and create tax-free income is right now. Call and ask for Alfie's Tax Map, 239-747-1080.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1080.
What's your draft? And that's in our new book. In our new book, it's really making waves in retirement. Now, we're going to talk about boating, a lot of boating analogies, but one of them is draft. And if you're a boater, you know what draft is. That's like how low can you go in water before you hit bottom? And I remember I first started boating in the Chesapeake, and that's over in Maryland. I'd be in the channel, and I'd be in 100 foot of water by the Bay Bridge. Here, boating, you're in 7 foot of water in the channel. It's Southwest Florida that's the one thing I had to get used to is how shallow everything is. And if you get off the channel, what happens is you're in 3 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot in a heartbeat. So you got to stay in that channel. But you also have to know what your draft is. So you know the areas you can go and you cannot go. And the draft is, on my boat, it's 4.5 feet. And I know if I go off the channel, I'm going to be running ground. And that's the last thing you want to do is run ground in any boat. Okay. And that's the same thing with your portfolio. Why do you want to know what your draft is? Is your draft in a portfolio is how low your portfolio can go if the market goes down. when the market starts to have serious volatility, you want to know how low your current portfolio can go. And that's what we call the retirement simulator. It's going to look at all your holdings, and it's going to take your present and your past returns on your portfolio and tell you how low it would have went if you were in that portfolio at that time. So this is something that I think everybody needs to do. And one of the ways that we deal with draft in portfolios is really the retirement simulator is we find out what your true risk number is. Because if your true risk number, it was put together by a team of psychologists, it's not just pick a number between 1 and 10. It's a true process to find out what your risk is. And if we know what your risk is and you answer the questions and you're comfortable with that, then that means when the market goes down 10, and if you're pretty risk adverse, yours might only go down 4. Okay, so you're going to be okay with that. But if you didn't do this properly and the market goes down 10 and yours goes down 10, if it goes down 20, it goes down 20, you're going to panic. And that's the last thing we want to happen in a portfolio. So the risk, find out what your draft is and make sure that we're not going to put you in shallow water where you're going to run ground. Give us a call and we'll get that over to you.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters. Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1080.
If you're concerned about creating your dream retirement, I've got just the book for you. Unlike most books on investing, it doesn't require a big investment of your time. It's not filled with financial jargon and difficult to understand explanations. It's an easy read, filled with valuable insights. So valuable, in fact, that anyone who is soon to be or already is retired should have a copy on their shelf. And today it can be yours at absolutely no cost. It's called Making Waves in Retirement, written by Alfie Townshend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, radio show host, and TV personality. Making Waves in Retirement breaks down the insights that Alfie has gained in his 4 decades helping people just like you plan for retirement. Real stories about real people, illustrating what they've done wrong and what they've done right. Strategies to help retirees and those soon to be retired make the right decisions and avoid costly mistakes. So if you've saved for retirement, this is the book for you. Get your complimentary copy today simply by being one of the first 5 callers. The number to dial is 239-747-1080. That's 239-747-1080. No strings attached. So if you're interested in living your dream retirement, you've got nothing to lose and quite possibly much to gain.
You have a club for every scenario, a driver for the long holes, wedges to get you over the hazards, and a putter when you need a touch of finesse. And you need plenty of these too. What about your retirement? Will you have enough to play the back 9? Find out today. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review with Alfie Townshend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Call 239-747-1080.
You've got questions, and Alfie has the answers that will keep you on the retirement fairway. I recently inherited a substantial amount of money, a little less than $1 million. I don't have any investing experience. How should I put that money to work for me?
Wow, that's a lot of money you inherited. Now, this is something you got to be very careful. You see it all the time where people have no experience in investing money and they really weren't used to that kind of money. Look at baseball players and football players. They get all this money and they really go through it. This is a privilege to have this type of money, and you want to be a good steward with it. So what you need to do is put a good plan together. And what we can do is we can show you different options. We can talk to you about investing, educate you about investing, and then see if that's something you want to do. But it's important to have a plan and put that money to work for you.
I recently moved to Florida because I'm working remotely now, and I retire in 3 years. What adjustments should I be making now to my portfolio?
That's a real good question. You're about to retire in 3 years. I look at it this way. I want to look at your whole, I can't just answer that question without knowing a little bit more information, but most likely what I would tell you is be a little bit more conservative. If you only have 3 years left before you retire, I want to make sure you have an income plan in place. I want to make sure your expenses are under control. I want to make sure if you have a pension, if you don't have a pension, we might want to create a pension for you. These are all things, if you're about to retire or soon to be retired or are retired, these are things we want to really look at your whole picture to make that final judgment call on you.
I'm a 63-year-old widow teacher, and I'd like to retire in 2 or 3 years. My mortgage is almost paid off. Do you have any tips on how to save more to retire on schedule?
Sounds like you did some very good planning. Your home is almost paid off. You're about to retire. That's the main thing. What you want to do when you're about to retire is make sure things are paid off. Make sure your home is paid off. Make sure you have your debt paid off. You want to be as debt-free as possible so you can have more money to spend during retirement. But in the meantime, you got a couple years. Go ahead and max out your 403b. You're a school teacher, so you most likely have a 403b. If you're not maxing that out, max that out. If you can do some Roths, you can do a Roth 403b. That would be something to think about because that money will come out tax-free. So personally, what I'd like to do is look at the whole plan. When we get together, I would look to see if it would make sense to do a Roth conversion and have some tax-free money down the road. But it's a good start that your home is going to be paid off before you retire, and make sure all your other bills that you can pay off, your credit card bills, are paid off before you retire. And it sounds like you're going to have a great retirement.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
When you're nearing your retirement, it's important that your plan include the proper steps to make an efficient and effective transition. There's a lot to consider. Will your income plan meet your lifestyle? How should you reallocate your assets? Is your withdrawal plan tax efficient? Well, practice makes perfect, but you only retire once. So how do you know you're making the right decisions and avoiding costly mistakes? Well, that's simple. Call Alfie Townshend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. Alfie has over 30 years of experience helping people just like you transition into retirement. So be one of the first 5 callers and receive your complimentary retirement transition review. Call 239-747-1080. There's no cost and no strings attached. Your retirement transition review includes key deadline schedules, asset reallocation guides, income plan analysis, and tax-efficient withdrawal strategies. Be one of the first 5 callers now, and this review is yours at no cost. Call 239-747-1080. You only retire once, so let's get this right. Call Alfie now. Welcome to another segment of Team Talk. I'm Mary Thompson in studio with Alfie Townshend, our founder and president. Alfie, I'm very excited about your new book, Making Waves in Retirement. And you talk a lot about your family in your book. And your family is very, very near and dear to your heart. Yes. You're very close to your sister in particular. And one of the chapters you wrote about was doing it for love. And you talk about life insurance. Tell us that story.
Life insurance, you think of life insurance, most of the time you think of life insurance, you just buy it for a death benefit. Now, it's really changed over the years. Over the last 40 years, it's definitely changed. A lot of people, high net worth clients, they like life insurance either sometimes to pay estate taxes. Some of them are using it for not just estate taxes, but for tax-free income. We know taxes are going up in the future. That's a given. We just know we have a high debt. And so, the Roth conversions are so important, but the life insurance has some features in there that there's no limit of what we can put in there. And so your income, if you're looking for $100,000 to $200,000 a year, income for a certain amount of years, tax-free, this might be a great vehicle for you. But life insurance, the traditional way back in the 80s, one of my dear friend happened to be my brother-in-law, married my sister, and he was a diabetic, a juvenile diabetic with diabetes, and so it was very hard to get him life insurance, and he really didn't want to get it. And I said, look, you have 2 kids now, and my nephew worked for us for over 10 years here, but he eventually said, hey, you're right. So I got him insured, with the different companies that we use. But if it wasn't for that insurance, he died of cancer 8 months later. That was within a year. He died of cancer after he got the insurance. And if it wasn't for that insurance, my sister was 33 at the time with a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So she was able to, with that insurance, continue life as, without her husband, but still have the kids go to the, Catholic school that they were going to. They still, she was able to have the help from, a lady taking care of the kids while she was working. She went back to school and got her, she was already a nurse, but she got her degree to become a nurse practitioner. So she was able to do everything because of the insurance, and her life pretty much stayed the same because of that. And it would have been totally different if she did not, if he opted not to do the insurance. But so insurance in that case was perfect. So some people use insurance for legacy for their children, or for, to replace income for the spouse. It could be used for that. Some people want some tax-free money. Some people want some Roth conversions, and this is like one step up from a Roth. So there's different ways to utilize that. So, we can definitely do different proposals if they want, our listeners, our viewers, if you wanted to have something, we can run different ones for you to see if it's appropriate for them.
Absolutely. It's great that you have so many tools that you can utilize for your clients, and it's not a one-size-fits all.
No, you're right. It's not.
And life insurance has changed a lot in the last many years.
It has.
So excellent.
Just like everything.
So I'm really glad you shared that story, and it's in Alfie's book. If you'd like to get a copy of Alfie's book, go to our website, savingtheinvestor.com, and we'll get that right out to you. Stay tuned for more Saving the Investor.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1080. You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters. We all have a picture of our perfect retirement, but how do we get there? At Advantage Retirement Group, helping you get there is our business. We're passionate about getting to know you, learning your hopes and dreams. Why? So we can work with you to achieve them. How? By maximizing the money you've saved, minimizing the dollars you pay in taxes and the risk you are exposed to, and creating a retirement income plan that ensures your savings lasts a lifetime. We're thankful to work with so many wonderful people, and we'd love to work with you too. Call Advantage Retirement Group today for your no-cost, no-obligation evaluation, 239-747-1080. Your retirement is too important to put off. Call now, 239-747-1080.
Is it just me, or is it you also? These gold commercials, you see them all the time, you hear them on the radio, and it's mostly about how to fight inflation. But you know what? Gold is the worst thing to fight inflation. If you think about it, let's go back to 2021. Okay, 2021, we had the highest inflation in 30 years. And gold started in January at about 1,800. It ended around 1,800. So it didn't do anything during the highest peak of inflation in 30 years. But better yet, I'm going to give you another reason. I was fortunate enough to be a speaker at this event in Chicago with Jeremy Siegel, and he's a professor, Jeremy Siegel. He's very sought after professor and very well versed in really economics. And he did his own chart, and this is what you're looking at right now. In 1802 all the way to 2010, he did this chart, how gold, and this was a chart if you would have put $1 in the stock market or $1 in bonds, and $1 in T-bills, or $1 worth of gold. Okay, and what it did, you can see what gold did. I think it says $4.55 it was worth after 1802 all the way to 2010, and that was taking in consideration inflation. So that obviously you see what did the best. It's the equities, and that's the stock market. And that's what I tell people. Stock market is one of the best ways to fight inflation, and we are in inflationary times right now. So if you want to look at your portfolio, make sure it's going to fight inflation, give us a call and we'll see if you're in the right spot.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters. Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1080.
Retirement gives you long-awaited opportunities. You finally gain control over how you spend your time. But you also need control of your investments, of your hard-earned money. There are a lot of moving parts, and just saving over the years is the first part. What about generating income, your Social Security, minimizing taxes, or managing risk? If you save for retirement, call us at 239-747-1080. Retirement can last more than 20 years, yet many people don't have enough money saved to get through 1 decade, let alone 2. Call us at 239-747-1080. Let us show you how to make your nest egg go the distance. That's 239-747-1080.
Mondo Uomo specializes in remarkable clothing for the remarkable man, like our exclusive selection of Bugatti and St. Croix shirts and sweaters. Visit our store in Naples at the Village on Venetian Bay or online at mondouomo.com.
Remember the Wall Street bailouts? Those same big banks and financial firms have been fined billions for misleading customers. And now they want to manage your retirement savings. Why would you trust them? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. My values are Main Street, not Wall Street. As an independent advisor, I don't work for shareholders, I work for you. If you want a fresh start with a local advisor, give me a call today.
Mondo Uomo offers a remarkable selection of the latest styles in menswear. Visit Mondo Uomo at the Village on Venetian Bay in Naples. Alberto, Bugatti, St. Croix, Zanella. Come see what remarkable shopping is all about.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. Give Alfie a call, 239-747-1080.